The Ao are Wereturtles, and they are believed to have been dead and long since passed from the early time of man or the creation of the world. However, that may not actually be the case. Today we're going to talk about it. Hello everyone, welcome to the Maple Table. My name's Nathaniel. This is a channel where we discuss lore around some of your favorite role-playing games such as Starfinder, Werewolf the Apocalypse. If that's something you're interested in, I would love to have you join me at the table, and you can do that by hitting that subscribe button and that bell notification. And just a quick reminder, if you're newer to the channel, we do have a community Discord server that is live. Link will be in the description. You can talk about our favorite games, and there's even a looking for group service there as well. So if you're looking for players to fill out a spot, please come by and check us out. The Wereturtles were actually a Varna of the Mokole. They referred to themselves as the Ao. Not like, ow, I've hurt myself, but A-O, Ao. The name comes from an ancient Chinese story that talks about the turtle, the great turtle, who basically sacrificed his legs to save the sky, or to hold the sky up. It is believed that an ancient turtle, a giant turtle, who lived somewhere in the South China Sea. In the Chinese telling of this story, Nua was a goddess who was trying to repair the sky after a major disaster. The way the story goes, she saw this giant turtle, cut its legs off, and used them as supports to hold the sky up. What I don't know from this story is whether that was a willing exchange or not. I'm gonna guess probably not, but all of this is to say that the Ao, the Wereturtles, they're old. Now, Varna is a term that's used to describe what a Mokole breed would look like, what sort of reptile they take the shape of. I have done a video covering the Mokole. I will link that up here, and it will also be in the description as well. Now, turtles can actually be found all over the globe right now. And despite being scattered across the world, the Ao were rumored to have a very special connection to the rest of the Varna. No one knows why exactly they had this connection, and that has been lost to the realm of history, but some of the most common reasons that are given are because the turtles are so old. And because turtle is also known to be very patient, not to mention they were pretty wise and slow to act, they tended not to have any aggressive rifts between their tribes. They were able to work together and talk and work out differences. So there wasn't a lot of animosity when it came to the Ao and their various tribes. The rest of the Fera could take notes because they very clearly didn't. When the Mokole look back into the Nmesis, the historians, or the Weresaurians, I don't like that name, but that's what's in the book. They remember that the Ao were the most in touch when it came to the Nmesis. They were the best connected to it. Because of how wise the Ao were, they were very revered by many of the changing breeds, not to mention the Rokea. And the Ao actually had a very good relationship with the Rokea. The Ao served as great middlemen between the Rokea and some of the other changing breeds. And I've also talked about the Rokea. You can find them up here or in the description as well. During this early history, this period of time, it was actually really good for everyone. The changing breeds, the Rokea, there was a good communication stream that was happening thanks to the Ao, and they were relaying information that was happening on land to the Weresharks, and the Weresharks could give information about things that they had noticed to investigate, at least on land, as much as they could do anything about it anyways. Now, you may remember from my earlier video on the Mokole that there are several different types of Varna, and this just refers to the species on where they live. In North America, you have the Mokole Mbembe, and the various types of crocodiles and alligators that live in this region. There was a few Gumagan Varnas, there were several breeds of the Makara Varna, your Eastern Varna of the Zhonglung Varna, and lastly, that leaves us with the vanished Varna, the Ao. Those who have traveled back into the Nmesis, mostly the Mokole, they would know that the Ao actually had very many names based off of where they resided, but they all referred to the same thing. In the Indian subcontinent, when they did find a giant turtle or one of the Ao there, they were called, and forgive me if I butcher this pronunciation because I probably will, Kermaraja. Kermaraja. No, it's not. I'm sure that's not a hard J. Here's the spelling up here. In North America, they were called Kahela, and based off of that name, I would say that puts them more closely around that Hawaii region. And in each of these areas of civilization, the stories of turtles creating the world persists there as well. What is unclear, though, is when exactly the Ao vanished. Even those who could travel in the Nmesis, they don't agree on when the Ao actually vanished. And in some cases, depending on who's going back into the Nmesis, their memories are different, which is strange because that's not how the Nmesis is supposed to work. But what is widely agreed upon by everyone is that around the year 540 BC is when the decline of the turtles started, and by the year 100, that is when the turtles had completely vanished. Did the Weaver finally get revenge and take some of Gaia's wisest children, destroying the memory of what the world should have been? Or did it work in exactly the opposite fashion, where Gaia took her children who had the memories of what the world was supposed to be like and pulled them back into the spiritual realm to keep that memory alive? We still have sea turtles in our present day society. Some Mokole have tried to unravel this mystery of where the Ao went, and while they've never been able to actually conclusively decide what happened, they have come across some interesting points in their investigations. When they go back into the Nmesis to try to pull these memories back, what the investigators found is that there is no clear sign of struggle. Usually when a tribe has been dying, there has been some sort of lashing out, there has been some sort of record of the struggle or record of fights happening. In the Ao's case, there isn't anything like that. It's as if they just simply disappeared, they vanished. And because there is no sign of struggle, this does lend some credibility to the idea that maybe the Ao are hiding in the Umbra waiting for their perfect time to come back. Or maybe they're just serving Gaia in some unknown way. But really, the only one who can answer that questions right now is you, the storyteller. So what are my final thoughts on the Ao? I think as a breed, as a changing breed, the Ao are very interesting. Would I have made the choice to have them as a lost breed, being that sea turtles still exist? No, I probably would have made them a playable race. And if somebody was to talk to me about wanting to play one at my table, I would consider the idea. For this particular lost tribe and some of the history that was tried to be wrapped around them, it could have been a little more thought out, a little more fleshed out. Some of this information is very, very close to actually a Wikipedia article on the Ao as well. I think if you wanted to do something more along the lines of canon, you could run a redemption story arc. This would be absolutely perfect for the sea turtles. You could probably incorporate some of the Rokea. So if you were looking for an excuse to throw some of those into your game, that would be a good way to mix them all in together. Maybe some of the same Beto as well. And if you were looking for an excuse for some Eastern content, this would absolutely be a great place to pick some of that up. If you were looking for something a little more tribal, you're looking at Central America, that would be a good place to do this as well. But speaking of a good tribe, my patrons: Autumn Alchemist, Cane Root, Warpony, Ducky, Get of Mathrox, B.A. Bravo, Arutvin, The First Layer, Bones Malone, Westheimer, and Ain't No Waifu. Thank you all for your support. If you would like to join the tribe, the link to my Patreon will be in the description below. If you are looking for some information on some of the other lost tribes, then please go ahead and check the playlist on your screen now. My name's Nathaniel. This has been The Maple Table. Thanks for stopping by, everyone.